Hey viewers, welcome to VL Astrology. Once again, I'm Vanita Lenka. I'm a Vedic astrologer and I use the Sidereal Zodiac to predict. And today I'm going to be talking about the 40th week of the year 2021 and what's in store for all the 12 ascendants or the moon sign, whichever resonates more with you, check. Generally, whichever is stronger will resonate more. If there is affliction by Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, suppose moon is afflicted, so I don't think so that moon will give that kind of results. But ascendant is always, it completes everything. It includes everything. So you should hear the ascendant. I use the ascendant. But yes, if you feel that your moon sign is matching more, no harm. You can hear that as well. And you will get to know what is exactly happening in your life. You can easily match up. So today, I'm going to be talking about Moon's transit, and then I will be talking about the highlights of the week, which is that Mercury is going to go retrograde and is going to be getting demoted in the sign of Virgo. Also, we have Venus transiting through the sign of Scorpio and joining Ketu. And as you all know, Moon is the swiftest, stays in the 7 Nakshatras in the 7 days, and in Navmansha, 28 Navmansha it covers in 1 week. So you can imagine, so fast is this moon. So if you have any kind of mood swings, so you must be rest assured that within the span of maximum 6 hours, things are going to change. So that's the reason, every 6 hours you eat something different, you talk something different, your mood changes. So that is what is this transit. And this is from the 27th of September till the 3rd of October. And Moon will be transiting through Taurus on the 27th. And for 2 days, it will be in Gemini. The next 2 days, it will be in Cancer. And lastly, in Leo. So I'll be sharing all the details in my description box, everything, all the details. As you all know, I'm very meticulous about the details, about the calculations, and about the dates. That's why astrology is so important. If the dates are wrong, then I don't think so it carries any meaning. So check the description box always, because it contains a lot of information. And to top it all, Mercury is going to go retrograde on the 27th and is going to be there in Libra sign, which is different, of course, than the Mercury is transiting through Virgo retrograde. So from 27th till the 2nd of October, this Mercury is going to be going retrograde in Libra sign. And then we'll be going into the Virgo sign, which has already, completed the span, because Virgo comes first and then Libra. So Virgo, it's already completed. So in Libra, it's going, instead of going forward, it's coming backwards. You must check how this works. Whenever any planet goes retrograde, it actually forgets its own significations, forgets to behave it's supposed to behave, because it's away from Sun. Also, you should see if you're running through the dasha of a particular planet, which is retrograde. Here we're talking about Mercury. So the impact would be felt even more. Check where your Mercury is in the natal chart, in your birth chart. Check the places it is actually away from that transiting Mercury. So suppose you're Aries rising. So this Mercury will be transiting through the 7th house of yours and will be coming back to the 6th house. So it will bring about the flavor of the 7th house as well as the 6th house. Now, if you're if your Mercury was in Aries, I'm talking about, suppose that's the easy way to understand. And in case you have a retrograde Mercury in Aries, suppose you have a Mercury which is retrograde in Aries or in Libra or in Virgo, so you will feel the results even more. Any retrograde planet has a potency to give the results, or the houses it sits in, those houses, it will give the results even more if it is in retrograde in birth chart as well as the transit one also. So it's like giving double the impact. If it is the 8th house Mercury, suppose you're in Aries rising and you have a Mercury retrograde in your 8th house. So from there, this transit of Mercury is happening in the 12th house, that is Libra, and the 11th house. So the results will vary. So you have to check all that. That is why it's very difficult to give general predictions, because in your natal chart, planets are in different position and they are transiting from there in a different position. That's why this is a general overview, and it will definitely give you some idea about the transit, but not completely, because it will never ever match up with the general predictions. Transits can only give you a rough idea. Until unless you get your own horoscope checked, you will not know. And as you know, this is going to be a 3 weeks transit. So I will be sharing the screen and showing you what exactly the sky looks like this week. And then I will be taking up the prediction. So that is the reason you should hear the first summary part specifically. I'll share with you what is Mercury retrograde and how is it different from the Libra, and how is it different, what's the difference between Libra and Virgo Mercury retrograde. Okay. And if in case you have not watched my video on Mercury transiting through Libra, please do watch that. It's very important and it will give you a lot of information as well. Okay. So let's see the screen. What exactly it says. See, this week, Moon is going to be in Taurus on the 27th. 28th to 30th, it's going to be in Gemini. 1st, 2nd, Cancer. 3rd, 4th in Leo. We are talking about Moon's transit this week, and I'm clubbing it with the Mercury retrograde. Moon is going to be in Ardhara, Punarvasu, Pushya, Ashalesha, Magha, Purva Falguni, Uttara Falguni, and in 28 Navmanshas. Mercury is going to be in Chitra, is already in Chitra Nakshatra from 13th of September till the 9th of October. Hasta 9th of October to 28th of October. Chitra again 28th of October to 6th of November. Swati 6th of November to 14th of November, which is in Libra, and so on and so forth. So here Mercury is going to be in retrogression starting from 1 degree 19 minutes in Libra, and is going to be getting direct on the 18th at 15 degrees 58 minutes. So the retrograde period starts from 18th October to the 3rd of November. You see, from this time, you have to understand what exactly what are the results that you're feeling, and then you have to complete those, what you initiate now during the retrograde period. You will feel the results at that time even more. Also, Mercury in retrograde means, some unexpected changes, and a person can, take some unwanted decisions, because Mercury is the significator for intellect. Mercury is communication. So whatever decisions you have to make regarding your education, investments, regarding your, any kind of change, so you have to be extra cautious when Mercury is retrograde. It is not a scary period. Do remember that. It's just that you might just make certain mistakes. So that are undoable mistakes. Maybe, once Mercury goes direct, you can always change and you can always undo those mistakes that you have committed. Mercury shows revolutionary changes. Actually, this happens thrice a year, but these bring, these phases, bring about major changes. So it can affect your intellect, speech, expression, education, and your inclinations towards the literature. And in case, as I said, you're running through the dasha or antardasha also of Mercury, then you will feel the results even more. Gemini Virgo natives should always check, the Mercury's transit. And in case you have planets in Libra or Virgo, you should check this transit as well. Retrograde Mercury will create a little bit of annoyance, little bit of fear in you. Sometimes it's like too much of exaggeration in your speech. Maybe you will be communicating in a very different manner, or you will be speaking more than usual. That is also quite likely. Or maybe if you're a good orator or you speak a lot, then you might just cut down on your speech, or you will speak less. Okay, so or maybe you can become a little sarcastic also when you're talking. You can have a little bit of that kind of speech where people can get hurt. So be careful about that. In Virgo, there can be some challenging situations that can come up at the workplace. And there can be some delays, frustrations, equipments might break down. You might feel cranky with the co-workers. You might feel finicky about it, but you are the detail oriented. So double check for whatever you are at, whatever job you're doing. And on the opposite side, that is the Libra side, where this is going to be getting retrograde. So you should accept your physical attributes as they are. Do not go in for some makeover, some haircut, and then you regret why I did it. So that can lead to some, it's like a risk-taking, scenario. So it's better to avoid. There can be that you make some indecisive decisions, you buy some wrong products, and then you have to return them. That is also so much about this, Mercury getting retrograde. And Libra is about, beauty, grace, charm. So you might just be, losing that balance. So you need to refresh and relax and rejuvenate yourself during this time. And you should be actually very careful with the numbers, because Libra is market also. So it can give some kind of, complications with that. Also, Libra is a very harmonious sign, and it can be that you're less sociable, you're less likable, or maybe, you are very less harmonious in your relationships, okay, in communication, maybe during that time. So you have to be really very careful when Mercury is retrograde in Libra, and definitely dependent upon what is the condition of Mercury in your chart. If Mercury is weak, afflicted in your natal chart, so retrograde will bring about more results. You will feel the results. The results will be pronounced even more. Okay, so you have to be checking yourself as to what exactly is happening. Now, this week, we have Venus transiting through the sign of Scorpio and is going to be conjunct Ketu. So that is also a very tough kind of a scenario. So you have to be making a note of the Venus's transit video that I'll be posting soon, because that requires a lot of attention as well. So I will not be sharing the details here, but I'll give you an overview during the sign-wise predictions, of course. Also, here we have to see Moon transiting through Gemini, Cancer, and Leo. So in Gemini sign, there is no aspect as such. And in Cancer, it's this Moon is going to be transiting through Cancer and aspected by Jupiter and Saturn. In Leo sign, there is no aspect, but Leo sign Lord is right in the sign of Virgo. So that is Sun. Sun is in Virgo, aspected by Rahu. So when Moon is in Leo, so we have to see the condition of the dispositor Lord, that is Sun. Okay, so this is how the week looks like. So let's move ahead, and I'll be sharing with you the sign-wise predictions. Okay. Let me share again. All right. So for Aries natives, this transit of Moon is going to be in your 3rd, 4th, 5th houses this week. To start with, it will stay in for 1 day here, but then, it will be moving into the sign of, let me change it. Yeah. Then it will be moving into the sign of Gemini. So when Moon is in Gemini sign, that's your 3rd house, you will be more receptive to the feelings of others and freely share your own emotions. You will shine in your community and coming up with bright ideas. You may also feel the need to have to do some short traveling also. Quite likely at that time, you will feel that you want to discuss things, communicate things with people around you. The negative impact of this moon in the third house would be that you can become very emotional about everything. You'll be very talkative. You have to refrain yourself, as it is your third lord is going to go retrograde, and it can lead to some kind of complications here and there. So you have to be really cautious about your communication. And this Mercury is going to go retrograde in your Libra sign and will be going backwards in Virgo. So this is going to be bringing about some confusion in relationship, in marriage, some turbulence in or misunderstanding here and there. And it is dependent on Venus's position. And Venus is there conjunct with this Mercury. So it's like sort of, the best would be that you maintain some peace. And Mercury is buddhi, so use your intellect in a right manner. So focus on the Ganesha chant. So with the Ganesha chant, you will get that kind of gravity. You will get that kind of you will feel that kind of that your intellect is giving you the support. So the ideas, that the creativity and the kind of advice that you really need, and your people need, you will be able to give. So do Om Gam Ganpataye Namo Namaha Om. Okay, so do this 108 times every day. If not every day, if it's not possible, then do it on Wednesdays as well as on Sundays. Try avoiding any journey or any kind of deals or signing documents, as it is going to be in the Virgo sign also. So that's the time when you feel that there is some conflict at the place of work with co-workers. You're too nitpicky, you're too critical about the small things. This is just an overview. Until unless we know how your Mercury is, we cannot say it. But yes, you will feel that you're becoming little unconventional kinds whenever a planet is retrograde. Okay. So this will give you some, this week you will be, Moon is going to be giving you, in the sign of Cancer. It is then moving into Cancer sign, your fourth house. So this will be giving you more connect with the family, with your family values. You will be more attached to doing things. You will be maybe going in for some disposal of the property, land, buying something, education. Maybe you will be initiating some education also. Maybe you are going to be, you were away from your family, now you're coming back home. So you want to be at home, Diwali, you're preparing for Diwali and doing some redecoration of the house, quite likely. In the fifth house, when Moon transit, that is Leo, 3rd, 4th of October. So that is the time when you will be having some kind of inclination towards speculation. You might just invest somewhere. You have that need to spend more time for yourself and or with your children. You're very romantic. You want to spend time with your partner. That's why I said Mercury retrogression, you have to see, how it is giving you the results. And Venus is also going to be transiting through your 8th house this week after the 2nd. So that video I will separately be making. But yeah, that's little precarious because it can give you some problems in the relationship or with your in-laws also. So you have to be a little extra careful there. You actually can become little irresponsible or lazy this week. So you have to gear up for that rather than, losing the right kind of attitude and doing things which are not actually helping you. So make sure that you utilize your energies and channelize them towards towards the proper channel. As it is, Jupiter and Saturn are in your 10th house. You're feeling all those energies, that aggravation already at the place of work. You want to complete everything. You want to do things, new projects, but there is always something which is stopping you, which is actually putting you in a spot where you're not able to complete it. So you're feeling quite uneasy. Do the Ganesha chant, as I said, Om Gangan Pataye Namo Namaha, or Hanuman Chalisa, because Hanuman is ruled by Mangal. Mangal is Hanumanji, your Aries sign is ruled by Mars. So you should do the chant or you should hear the chant, that is Hanuman Chalisa. It is definitely going to help you. Mars is going to be in your sixth house. So this is the house where, you will have some disease which will be taken care of. Enemies you will have, but you will be able to win over the enemies, or the opponents will be pinned down by you. You will definitely be the winner. In case you're going in for some litigation, that also you will get that relief when Mars is in the sixth house. You will definitely get entrapped in a litigation, but you will get some positive news also. So don't worry. For Taurus natives, Moon will be transiting through your second, third, fourth houses this week, and it is going to be giving you mixed kind of results, because in the second house, it will be making you get connected with your family values. You want to get maybe you will be getting too extravagant, buying things, and then you feel that I shouldn't have bought, I wasted so much of money and stuff. You're feeling quite disheartened with whatever you have purchased. As it is Mercury is going retrograde, don't take that chance. Then Moon will be in your third house, so some travels on cars. Travels should also be avoided, because it's like you can have some setback, or it will not be that positive. The travels might just give you that you might lose out on something where some projects that you're going for, or some work that you've taken up, so the goal is not achieved, so you will feel quite disheartened because of that also. You will feel the desire to be to get connected with your friends, your families this week, and you will be actually refraining yourself from being getting scattered also. All the time you're going to be conscious about your speech and your communication with people. You might get a little authoritative also. You might get into that zone where you're going to be changing things around you, your home environment. You're going to be changing your redoing your furniture, redoing your stuff at home. So this is a time when you will be focusing more on your family and family atmosphere more, and this will give you some kind of self-image, housing, subconscious. Your mood is towards your home, your own space this week. So you might just recall your ancestors. This is a very good time, as it is PITRU PAKSHA is on, so you might just do some some homam or something, or some kind of donations during this day, and you feel very nice about it. You feel that, oh yes, I did something good about my ancestors this time. So this week it seems to be a very positive week for that reason. Mercury going retrograde in the sixth house is not considered to be bad, as it is it is in retrogression in Libra, and then will be moving back to your fifth house. So just maintain that kind of peace with your co-workers. Don't get involved in any kind of arguments with them. You might just feel that they are not listening to you. There is some issues that you have to sort out. Your expert opinion, they are not actually taking it. They just want to discard it. So you feel quite uneasy for that reason. Some health issues or some skin related issues can come up. So just try fasting on Wednesdays. That will help you. Some kind of monetary losses can be anticipated with Mercury retrograding in your sixth house and then the fifth. So do not get into don't go overboard in your investments also. I would say there are certain risks that you're taking, and it is going to just fall apart, or maybe they will fall. You might just regret as to why you did this, why you invested in this particular stocks, shares, crypto, whatever you're thinking of. Good time for progeny, in case you're thinking or planning some childbirth. This week is good for that. For education initiation, it's good. For competition success on cards. But you have to redo things, rejuvenate, relax. You have to reread the paper if you're giving the exam, or whatever you're doing, the documents you're signing, you have to redo those so that you're well equipped, because the Karaka for communication, information is going to go retrograde. So that means that we have to be extra cautious about those energies. Coming to the next sign, that's Gemini. For Gemini natives, Moon is going to be transiting your, to start with, the 12th house that I have already done. So we'll cover the first, second, and the third houses. When Moon is transiting the first house, you have the urge to do things for yourself, look good, appearance wise. You want to just, you are having that kind of mood where you are more, your mood is very changeable also, many mood swings you get. Also, it can lead to some, fuss that you'll be showing, or maybe you're doing for others and you're expecting from others and they're not actually doing things for you. Second house would be giving you some sense of security about money, finances, home value, family values, connect with the family members, some kind of expenditures, and then you regret why I bought this. That can happen. It is like feeling more on extravagant side. On the third house, on the 3rd and the 4th October, this Moon will be in your 3rd house, and that is the time when you will be having a lot of ideas, emotions. You will be actually making the best use of this time to convey, being creative and conveying that creativity to the people around you at the place of work, and they will be acknowledging you. Some short distance journeys on cards, and you will be feeling quite protective about your own community also. Mercury is going to go retrograde in your 5th and the 4th houses. So this time you might be thinking or rethinking about the subjects that you have to choose to go in for the education. So this is the time when you will be quite confused, or there will be some wrong decision or reversals. Maybe you will be changing stream or addition to the subjects. This time you're thinking many things, and you might just make a decision, final decision about your work and your education. So some professional growth also on cards, and this is a good time for making some kind of negotiations also. So in case you have to do it, you should actually be very cautiously taking a call. But yes, you are having the self-expression to be more communicative. You might be very communicative, or it can be the other way around. You can be to yourself also. This will bring about some kind of change in your health also, in your mood swings also. You might feel that there is some kind of problem that you have in your love, romance, because it's the 5th house. There can be some miscommunication also. Old friends might just get connected with you and help you minimize the problems you're going through. So take their advice also, and take their help also here when it is transiting through your 5th house in retrogression. The ambience of the house, you want a pleasant ambience. You want to work through that also. You want to take care of your home environment now. Maybe you shift out to another place, quite likely. In case you're thinking or planning to do so, this is a time when you will be actually finalizing all those things, all that as well. Mercury will be conjunct Mars also, so you have to be taking care of your communication, because you can go a little aggressive during this time. But yes, you are going to be having a lot of confidence, curiosity, and you will be motivated also, definitely. Coming to the next sign, that is Cancer. For Cancer natives, Moon is going to be transiting your 12th, 1st, and the 2nd houses, and Mercury is going to go retrograde in your 4th and the 3rd house when it's going backwards. So when Moon is in the 12th house, the highlight is that you are very empathetic and overly emotional, and you isolate yourself from or disconnect from the others. Make sure that you are, when you're driving, you be careful. You can meet with an accident or something. So be careful, because this is also the place of hospitalization or any kind of health issues. So you have to visit the hospital. That's what it said in the classic text. So, you should be careful about that. You might feel depressed. You want to avoid meeting people. You don't feel like, all that is quite possible. Or maybe you're writing a song or a poetry, so you have isolated yourself voluntarily and you want to just concentrate on your work. Maybe that presentation that you have preparing for during this time, you're working through that as well. So quite likely. Moon will be transiting your first house, so that will be the time when you will feel quite moody. The mood swings are pretty high, maybe with yourself, with your partner. You convey something and then, the partner misunderstands, or you're very overly protective about your partner. That is also quite likely with the emotional Cancerians. They are very, very emotional people. So you might become very protective as well as possessive. Mercury is going to be retrograding in your fourth house, and then will be moving backwards in your third house. So this will bring about some connect with your own family members. You will bring about some comfort to your mother. This might be a little challenging phase for property related issues. So be careful when you're signing the documents, agreements, or maybe you're joining a new job. So you read the documents very carefully before signing them. Take care of your mother's health. Also, you will be actually financially managing many things, and unwanted expenditures can also be there. So you have to be very careful about that. It's better to donate something in green color to the poor or the needy or the orphanage, in the orphanage, or the children who are not able to afford. So you should actually help them during this transit of Mercury retrogradation. Mercury will be conjunct Mars also. So that is the time when you will be very bold and you will be making certain decisions which are going to be really required from a long time. Mercury retrogradation gives that zeal and energy. Also, I've seen people become quite successful also during this phase. So whatever is stuck up, that might just start moving. There can be some verbal skills. There is a lot of mental energy, intellectual energy in your third house. So you might feel, motivated also. But at the same time, avoid arguments. Don't be impulsive. Take time to make decisions. This is not the time to take impulsive decision and then regret. Moon will be lastly transiting your second house. So that's the time when you will be concerned about your family expenditures. Maybe there is a lot of expenditures on things which you don't need, and then you are regretting why I spent so much of money. So all that is quite likely. So just preparing you, for warning you, your savings are depleting. So better take care, keep a check on your financial condition. Jupiter, Saturn are going to be there only in 7th house, and Ketu and Rahu are also in the 5-11 axis. So this will give you setbacks in your relationship. So you have to be really careful in your relationship and your investments as well. The inclination to invest is there definitely, but you have to be careful. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is coming to the next sign, that is Leo. So for Leo natives, this transit happens in your the moon will be transiting through the 11th, 12th, and the first houses, and Mercury will be getting retrograde in your third and will be moving back to the Virgo sign, the second house. Nothing else is changing apart from Venus. Venus is going to be transiting this week your fourth house and will be conjunct Ketu. So that is also considered to be a little tough transit. But yes, 11th house would give you connect or hanging out more with the friends, spending more time with the old buddies. You're going to be getting together with them, party time. You're actually performing some kind of services to the community also. Maybe there is some innovative idea that you're going to be discussing with your friends, and it's going to come forward and come through. Moon will be transiting through your 12th house, so you might be very empathetic and overly emotional during this time, as this is a movable sign and a sign ruled by Moon. So you might feel quite moody during this time. You want to seclude yourself. You don't want to discuss things you have been doing things, party and all that, communication. Now you want to seclude after the Gemini transit. So you want that rejuvenation. You want that rest now. So this is the time that you should be spending more alone time, and then, just get yourself charged up and then start afresh. So this whole cycle, when it comes to an end, the 12th house when Moon reaches, so it's sort of exhausted. So that is the reason, 12th house is the house of imprisonment, also hospitalization. It's seclusion, basically isolating yourself. So when Moon is in this sign of Cancer, for Leo people especially, it becomes very, very emotional. You may be crying, or maybe you're very depressed or something. You're missing your own people, or you're looking at your past and you're just feeling low about it. So that can happen. Also, Mercury being in retrogression in your in Libra sign is different. It will give you some writing and great skills in speculation. Also, you might be very communicative with people around you, and you might just convey your mind during this time. You might be making some travel plans, so just be careful about that. Good for your growth and expansion, and this will enable you to spend time with your siblings, also with your neighbors, with your cousins. Maybe you will be spending more, communication is there, and you'll be spending more time there, investing more time there. Financially, it is advisable to avoid investments, and those who are planning to invest, just be careful. Just check where you want to invest and where you want to do too much of expenditure, because second house transit also will be bringing about that kind of carelessness also. So you have to be putting extra effort to be more careful. Okay, maybe you go haywire, you go overboard and invest, and then you regret. You spend on some technological, or something like furniture or something to do with the household things, and then you regret, why did I buy this? So in Mercury retrogression, you should avoid, as it is PITRU PAKSHA is on, so one must not purchase any new things, as we say that we are mourning, we are grieving. The grief is there for your ancestors, so you have to avoid all that as well during this time. Okay, so buying something, you have to be careful, but if need be, of course, you can chant Om Ganganapataye Namo Namaha, and then just bring that thing home. So whatever you have to buy. Okay, no worries, things don't have that superstition, but yeah, you can be very careful also at the same time, simultaneously. Don't buy things, we don't need things right now. Like, I feel that we can, the minimalistic approach to life, this COVID has taught us, we can just stay put. We don't need to be spending thousands and thousands of money, and thousands and thousands of dollars on things which we don't need. So just the bare necessity, spend on that. Technology, of course, there are new gadgets coming up, so be careful. When you're working from home, you need to have more laptops, you need to have more gadgets around. So maybe you have to return something, if what you buy when Mercury is retrograde. So do it before that. I think you have time. When I'm posting this video, you can be prepared, right? Then Moon will be lastly transiting your first house, not to forget. This is a clubbed video. Mercury retrograde as well as Moon's transit. So Moon is going to be in your first house. So that's the time you will have some mood swings. You might just pick up some argument with somebody, or your spouse or your partner, or if you're single, with the people around you. So this can lead to some kind of expectation not getting fulfilled, and the desires not getting fulfilled. You're very moody, there is a lot of aggression, argumentative nature of yours comes up, so you have to be extra careful when Moon is in your first house. Rahu and Ketu as it is are in your Kendra, so this is going to be bringing about some change in the place of work also. Maybe your mindset changes, or maybe the people around you, they just change some something to do with your work, the profile, or maybe the way you are working or they are working. So they just change it, okay, quite lightly. So maintain peace, maintain calm, and everything will be fine. All right. Coming to the next sign, that is Virgo. So for Virgo natives, just give me a moment. I'll just drink some water. As these are live sessions. All right, for Virgo natives, Moon will be transiting through your 10th, 11th, 12th houses. And Mercury is going to be retrograding in your second house. It will be coming back to your first. So Mercury is having all the potency to give the results of Mercury, because it's coming back to its own zone. So when Mercury is in the Libra sign, it's conjunct Venus. So it's going to be giving the results of the dispositor Lord Venus also. So it's going to give 100% results, whatever it is giving. So it is going to be, this Mercury is going to be actually giving you a lot of energy to take major decisions, and maybe you will be thinking of some kind of career or professional growth, some investments. Maybe you're changing your house or the place you're staying. It might just bring about some wealth prospects, growth prospects here. You might be having some disturbed environment because of your speech, because Mars is also conjunct in Virgo sign. So you will have to sort out a lot of differences that you're going through amongst the people. Investments might just backfire, or maybe you're not able to channelize your investments in a proper, park your funds in a proper manner. So take help, seek advice before going ahead with major investments. Some unexpected gains are also expected. So some, if you compare from the past, things are improving with this Mercury coming to your first house. You might just feel that these things are actually giving you good results as well simultaneously. Moon is going to be in your 10th house, and then 11th, and lastly the 12th house. So Moon in the 10th house will give you a lot of emotional impact at the place of work. Maybe you will be having a lot of that kind of an atmosphere where you are spending more time with the people in a very sensitive manner, in a very emotional manner. The emotional intensity at the place of work increases. So you might just be having a lot of decision making that is not practical. So you have to be more practical rather than going overboard and making decisions. Maybe you have a lot of responsibility to pay the bills, a lot of responsibility that you have to towards your colleagues and your bosses also. So you have to understand which is actually required at the moment. So think about it, think well, and then make a decision. In the 11th house, you are going to be connecting with your friends, your groups. You're going to be very emotional about the people that you are surrounded with. You are going to be very happy and secured with the community you move around in. Okay, so this is going to be like giving you some kind of that gush of blood, as we say. So you're going to be having a lot of excitement also, some good news coming your way. So you're very much happy about this transit, in the 11th house. It's going to give you that kind of it's going to give you that kind of positive energy, and you're going to be feeling that zeal and enthusiasm. Some innovation is coming your way, some creative energy is there, creativity is going to be there in the 11th house, and you feel that the networking with others is going to be a new age ideas coming your way. In the 12th house, this gives you isolation. You feel quite charged up in emotions. You're less practical. You want to spend more time with your own people. You want to spend time with your thinking about your own people, maybe in seclusion. You're with people, yet you're not. So that can also be, quite likely with the 12th house transit of Moon this week. So it is going to be giving you some mood swings also. You might just go haywire in your decision making by the end of the week. That is on the 3rd and the 4th of October, when Moon is transiting your 12th house zone. So this 12th house energies, are like hospitalization, or you can say imprisonment or seclusion due to something or the other. It can be that you're preparing for a presentation and you're just secluding yourself. No, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to finish my job. So that can also be there, with Moon transiting through your 12th house. But yes, overall, I feel that this week is very good for you because you're going to be actually, deciding and getting clarity on many things this week, and you will be definitely making decisions, major decisions coming, the breakthroughs coming your way. Coming to the next sign, that's Libra. For Libra natives, Moon is going to be transiting your 9th, 10th, and 11th houses, and Mercury is going to go retrograde and will be back in the 12th house. So for Libra natives, Mercury being the lord of the 9th and the 12th will give you that religious bent of mind to start with. You will be attending the religious functions, or maybe some pilgrimage you're going to be taking, and your expenditures will be very high when Mercury gets back into the Virgo sign. So you have to be careful where you want to invest, and just research and then invest. That's the best thing. Health wise, you might feel quite stressed out. So do some exercises, breathing exercises, do some meditation, do the chant Om Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Om. That is going to help you for 108 times. If you do it regularly, it's going to be very positive. You are going to be maybe writing something, you're not getting that idea that you want to put in the book that you're writing, or the poetry that you're writing. So you get stuck. So now is the time you will be, by the end of the week, 3rd, 4th, you will feel that you will get the kind of ideas that were stuck. Now you're getting through those ideas. So definitely a positive week for that reason. Moon is going to be in the 9th house to start with, as I said. So you will desire to travel. You will maybe learn some lesson. You will learn some language. Also, you might be getting into or coming across the people that you have who are different than your culture. Maybe, from some other culture, you come across somebody. That's also quite likely during this time. Also, this gives interest in the right things right now. Maybe, some higher learning, higher education. You want to go in for some fun activities, adventurous activities with your spouse, with your partner, or maybe alone. So all that is quite possible. Lose your fear of commitment. If at all there is a fear that you have actually set in your mind, that blockage, so that you have to open, you have to come out of it, because your people, or the commitment that you have to make, you should make now, rather than lingering it on. In the 10th house, it's time to shine in your chosen profession and be recognized and appreciated. So those ideas that you have already been thinking of are there in your head. You just bring forward and show it to your bosses, your seniors, and your co-workers, and discuss with them as to what you want. You may feel very emotional about your work and your career during this time, and this will be like, people will not acknowledge it. So you have to be extra careful about those emotions. Don't show your emotions in a negative manner. It can be taken otherwise. Also, don't be too bossy. Don't try to be bossy. Learn to listen. Only then you will be able to get that acknowledgement from others. Moon will be in Leo. Leo is like meeting influential people. Maybe you're coming across somebody, and this is the time when you will be actually meeting your friends. You're hanging around with your own community, your own people, and you are going to be serving others also. So maybe something to do with your workplace. You have to prove yourself, and you get that goal that you have set, you achieve it. That is also quite likely with this. Some internet issues you can have during Mercury retrograde, so be careful. Plan everything well. There can be electricity issues. There can be some problems in your, technology or information related or communication related issues that you can go through. So make sure that you do not at any cost, do things which actually backfire. So better to be cautious. That's why I'm preparing you. All right. So I think it's a good week. Just avoid arguments and you'll sail through everything beautifully. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Scorpio. And Scorpio natives, this transit of Moon is happening in your, to start with 8th, then 9th, and then lastly the 10th house. And Mercury is going to go retrograde in your 12th house and will be coming in the demotion form in your 11th house. So here it is going to be leading to expenses, losses. You're going to be thinking of investing your money. So this is not the time to take up any kind of investments, because it can backfire. If these things are, many areas of life are disturbed, then you should get the indications that no, this is to be avoided, rather than, swimming against the tide and just going overboard in your investments. Think logically, and then take a call, or maybe call an expert, take that person's advice, and then go ahead with your investments and your funds. Okay, relationship wise, you're going to be very emotional kinds, but at the same time you and your partner are thinking from heart to heart. It's reaching each other, so which is like a good connect that you have with the partner during this time. Take precautions while communicating with the people around you. You can have some secrets which can be revealed, so be careful. In case you're having any kind of extramarital relationship or something, then this can be a very precarious time. You might just be caught up, so you have to be careful. Okay, Moon will be transiting through your 8th house to start with, and then the 9th and then the 10th. So 8th house energy will make you very emotional, very protective, and about your relationship and about your physical relationship. Basically, you may just be very protective about your relationship. You can be very choosy about your relationships also during this time. So it's better to have that kind of approach where you learn something and you actually rise from that, that mental blockage that you're carrying all the time. There can be some skin related issues that you can go through this week, so be careful about those. Maybe eating something can cause allergy, or maybe some insect bite. So you have to be extra cautious about that as well. In the 9th house, this will be the time when you will be having inclination towards travels, adventures, learning some new subjects, going in for some language, or you may just come across people from other cultures and you just mix with them. You're so well gelled that you are very happy about it, that good that you met these people, and in Mercury retrogression, it's said that when you come across somebody, that person is not going to be lasting, it's not going to be, this friendship is not going to be lasting long. So you have to make sure that it happens before the 27th of September. Okay, and in case you have any kind of profession that you have chosen, any kind of experience that you want, that's towards the end of the week, you will be actually focusing on those things as well. You take the help of the influential people, the seniors at the place of work, and then move on to make decisions. That's the best thing to do. Be more helpful, be more cooperative, be more compassionate to the people around you, because Ketu is over your 1st house, so you're becoming very detached kinds. Your speech is getting rough as well, so you have to be very cautious about what you speak. Actually, Mercury is going to go retrograde, as I said, in the 11th house also. It's coming back, so you can have some investments and take the right kind of advice and then move ahead. There can be that you come across some old friends of yours during this time. That's also quite likely. Okay, so good week for you, I would say, apart from the initial part when Moon transits your 8th house. 8th house energy is like a transformative energy. So you, even if you're having, if you, at the end of the day, you feel that you learned something, you learned your lesson, something which is very deep, some research kind of a mindset that you develop during this time, you should adopt it and you should utilize it, because it is going to be coming back every 27 days over to this place. And Ashtama Shani is not considered to be, Ashtama Chandra is not considered to be good. Why? Because people, this is the place where he debilitates. So this Mercury's house and Moon in that Mercury's house becomes like a logic, reasoning is missing, and only emotions, full of emotions that person is when Moon is in the 8th house. So you have to be extra cautious about the balance that you have to strike between the practicality of life and the emotional part of life. So you have to strike that balance. By the end of the day, you definitely are having that win-win scenario. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Sagittarius. So for Sagittarius natives, this transit of Mercury happens in your, which is coming to the retrogression that is happening in your 11th house and then your 10th house. So you will be feeling that your success, profits, gains, that is the inclination, but it is not working after Mercury goes retrograde. Or maybe, you make a lot of money also. quite likely. With retrogression, there is a like a swipey kind of a thing. It is like spiky. It's up down kind of a phase. So you have to try it for yourself, and you have to check your dasha. You have to check where your Mercury is. How is it forming that kind of connectivity with your 11th house? If it is, and it's a very Shuddha Mercury, that is, it's pure, it's not afflicted, then this is the time you should be going in for some heavy investments. I think you will make good big time money, but just try with small investments, only then going for the bigger ones. And this will be very beneficial transit for you in case you're looking for a social status and the opportunities, or connect with the influential people. This is going to be a very good time for the business partnerships also, in case you're thinking of when Mercury goes retrograde in your 11th house. 11th house transit is not considered to be bad. So for Sagittarius natives, this transit is going to really be a helpful transit for you. In case you're having some kind of lack of support from your spouse, you will be getting that support from your people, from your partner, from the people around you. And you might be just thinking of selling off the property also, because it's the 8th house transit from the 4th house when Mercury is in Libra sign. So as you can see, this is the 8th house. So for mother, this can bring about some skin related issues, nerve pains, nerve related issues. So you have to be very careful. You must donate something, some green pulse, or the we can say green clothes. If you want to donate, that will be good. Also, you can donate some kind of green color. What should you donate? I'm just thinking anything in green would be good. Okay, so coming to the next sign, that is one sec, I didn't cover this. I think Moon's transit. Yeah, I've covered, I think. Yeah, so Moon's transit is going to be very positive for you also this week. Just that Moon will be in your 8th house from the 1st to the 2nd of October. So you have to take care of your mood swings. Do not get carried away. Don't be too possessive. Don't be too sexually active, overly indulgent. Otherwise, it's a good week for you, because in the 7th house, in the 9th house, you're going to be feeling quite charged up in emotions. Energies are there to initiate things, adventure you. That is something that you are already having from a long time. So the adventurous you is going to be like making some kind of trips, to the place where you have to, maybe you enjoy some trek or some adventure trips that you're going to be taking up this week. Also, we have to see that this Moon is going to be in your 7th house. So you are very protective about the people around you. So don't be too nitpicky. Don't be too critical about that also. Don't be too emotional also at the same time. So you have to strike a balance, because it's the 7th house after all. Communication is on skyrocketing. So maybe, you say something which actually people get hurt because of that. So make sure that you talk in a very refined and a polite manner. Okay, coming to the next sign, that is Capricorn. For Capricorn natives, Moon is going to be transiting your 6th, 7th, and 8th houses this week, and Mercury is going to be going retrograde in your 10th and the 9th houses. So Venus is going to be transiting your 11th house. So these are the major highlights of the week. And here, when Moon is going to be in your 6th house, so you're going to be quite charged up. You start exercising, working out, gymming, diet, all that is the highlight of the week. And maybe you will be having a nurturing and a caring relationship with the people around you. You're very caring when Moon is in the 6th house, when it transits. So that gives you a very caring attitude towards people around you. And when it comes to health, diet, hygiene, you're very particular also. If you're not, you should be. That is the major remedy for you. You will be focusing on finishing off the projects that you started. So this is the time when you should be actually taking a decision about all these things. 7th house transit might lead to Moon might lead to some kind of nurturing kind of attitude towards your people around you. You're pampering your partner very much. Or maybe your grandmother, you're going to be attached to your grandmother a lot, and you're going to be spending time with her. That is also quite likely. You may feel lost, alone without your partner. Maybe there is some kind of gap or separation for the time being. You're missing that partner also, quite likely. You need to feel that warm security, and you're just dependent on the codependent. Okay, emotionally. Eighth house transit, generally, you feel very emotional that time, and the logic just fades away. So that's the reason Chandrashtama is not considered to be that great a placement when it's transiting through it from the Lagna or the Chandra. It is transiting the eighth house, so this is considered to be a little tough for your mood swings. So don't make any hasty decision or impulse any decisions when moon is in your eighth house. All right, and I've explained Mercury going to the to be transiting your 10th house, and the 9th house will give you that name and fame. It is going to be like up and down kind of a thing. It's not going to be stagnant. Of course, you will work very hard, accomplish whatever you have already put in, the effort that you have put in. So this is definitely positive. Your subordinates can be really helpful to you. Very positive transit for you. It will increase your efficiency also at the workplace. And also they can be that you have to you have to take advice of your elders and then make a decision about your work or your projects. For student natives also, this is a good time in case you're thinking of preparing for the competitive exams. So this will be a very positive transit for you as well. In case you're thinking of travels, that is also quite likely. Planet Mercury is transiting through the 10th house and then the 9th house. Of course, this will give you some kind of positive energy towards your religion, towards your functions, donations. Maybe you will be getting involved in the activities where you will be donating also a lot to the NGOs or something, very positive, I feel. Okay, so the best chant for you would be Om Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Om. That's the chant that I can give you, and it's a very good chant for you. Okay. Coming to the next sign, that is Aquarius. So for Aquarius natives, moon is going to be transiting your 5th, 6th, and 7th houses, and Mercury is going to be coming back to your 8th house. So this is going to be a little tough. Why? Because 8th house transit is going to be giving you some kind of loss of health or loss of finances. A father's health might suffer because it's conjunct the Lord of the 9th also to start with. So you have to be taking care of that, all those things. Progress of your children would be up to mark, and you will feel quite happy about it. And students will also perform well during this time. But the only problem is the health. That is what I'm worried about. Otherwise, it's all good to go, nothing to worry. And in case you have to make any kind of decisions related to your, your work or your personal life, I think you should wait for Mercury's getting direct and coming back on the 3rd November onwards. You can make decisions. That's what I can say, because retrograde period is also going to get over. It's not that 18th Mercury went direct, so everything is going to fall in place. No, Mercury will be going through the same place where it has already transited through. So it is going to be giving you some kind of reversals also. You might just be doing or redoing things that you have already done when Mercury was in the sign of Virgo earlier. So, and in Libra. So when it has transited till the 15 degrees. So what all happened in that 15 degrees will resurface. So make sure that you are very much aware of it and then do things. A good time for investments before Mercury goes direct. Mercury goes retrograde, sorry. So once Mercury is in retrogression, you have to check your personal chart as to what exactly is it going to be leading to. In case it says that your Mercury is very strong and retrograde in your chart yourself also. So this Mercury has the results more pronounced related to the 8th and the 9th house and the rulership of 5th house as well. So maybe, childbirth or progeny on cards also. All right. The creative view is pretty strong, and the relationship, the strength in relationship is, the bond is getting stronger as well. Okay, that's very positive. Moon will be transiting your 5th, 6th, and 7th houses this week, and it is going to be giving you some kind of protection towards the recreational activities. You're very emotional about that. You're emotional about doing things for yourself, actually. Your dreaming, your creativity, your nurturing attitude, your your romance, your love, relationship, all this is triggering up to a greater extent when moon is in the fifth house. For students, also very good time, for competition success, also very positive time. In case you have to go in for all these things, you have to see where moon is transiting. Moon is a very emotional kind and transiting through a logical sign of Gemini. Gemini is very talkative, but they're very logical people. So because it's ruled by Mercury after all, so this transit of moon might bring about some kind of illogical kind of a decision. You might just go overboard in your hobbies, pursuing things for yourself, whatever you like to do. You're thinking of doing that repeatedly without thinking, and maybe, you spend more time buying or, things which or investing where, you should have not. In the sixth house, again, it is going to be giving you some kind of nurturing or mothering attitude towards yourself, about your health, diet, regime, hygiene. All those are very, very heightened. This is the time when you will be having some connect with the office people, with the co-workers. Remember that you have to be very careful and caring towards your family and your co-workers also. It's an extended family after all, so we should not ignore that. All right. But overall, I feel that this whole transit of Mercury retrogression in Libra sign is very good. And Moon's transit towards these zones is also very positive. All right. Enjoy and do Om Ganganpataye Namo Namaha. All right, this week. Coming to the next sign, that is the last one, Pisces. So for Pisces natives, Mercury is going to be in the 8th house for a few days in retrogression, and then will be transiting through the Virgo sign again, which is a very positive transit for you. You're going to be having a lot of research-oriented mindset to start with, and then you will be focused on bringing that research to in the limelight. Maybe you have actually researched on something which is really, nobody has done, and you've spent many hours on that. So this is the time when you will be showing that project to others. This transit will give you some kind of health issues to your mother. So take care of her health when Moon is in the 8th house. But overall, I feel that this is going to be getting better with Moon transiting through your 7th house zone again. It is definitely very positive. Why? Because it is going to be in the Kendra and is forming a Panchamahaprusha Yoga, Bhadra Yoga also. So definitely very positive for Mercury to transit through the Kendra. Some positive changes will be coming your way, and it is going, but don't be too suspicious of that. Oh yes, this happened for that reason, this happened. Don't do the postmortem. Don't get into that nitpicky thing, don't be too critical about things. Just move on with in a stride. Professionally, there could be some problem or disquiet atmosphere, at home. Maybe you're working from home. Health-wise, it is going to be some health-related skin allergies you can have. So make sure that you are taking good care of your in-laws and taking good care of yourself also. Okay, do the remedies and things will definitely be perfect. Remedies are that you have to do Om Ganganpataye Namo Namaha Om. That's the chant you should do. All right. Also, Moon will be transiting through your 4th house, 5th house, and 6th house, and this will be the time when you will be forming a connect with your past, with your friends, with your family, spending alone time. Also, in the seclusion, in your seclusion, in your comfort zone, maybe you're going to be going for some kind of renovation at home. So you are maybe spending more time at home for that reason, or something is there with some occasion that you have to plan, a birthday or anything, something like that. So you are going to be actually at home and you want to relax as well. So you can do that. And Moon will be transiting through your 5th and 6th houses also, and this will give you inclination towards the recreational activities. You want to unwind, you want to spend more time in your creative pursuits, you want to have that nurturing attitude towards the ones who are actually cooperative of you. So you're going to be giving that balanced hand to the people around you, of course. Some renovation, some property related issues you're going to be actually solving when Moon is transiting through your 4th house. I've seen people making major decisions also during this time related to property matters, related to mother. Maybe they are separating from mother and leaving her alone, and quite apprehensive about that also, quite likely. Practice the creative pursuits like writing, dancing, photography, painting. All that you should, either or these you should pursue actually. Moon will be in your 5th house, and then lastly the 6th house. So 6th house transit will give you, 5th house is children, progeny, childbirth, as I said, romance. In the 6th house, you will be quite nurturing and mothering to yourself and others. People will come to you, as to what you should do. You're more helpful now with this 6th house transit. So this is the time when you will be having some kind of chemistry, that bonding that you have been missing out on. So that bonding definitely is going to revive. So make sure that you tell the truth and only the truth to continue in a relationship you're in. Moon will be in your good places, and Mercury also will be coming back to your 7th house zone. So this is bringing about a flavor of changes, basically change in your education, change in your place of abode, or maybe some change at the place of work also, because your 10th lord is in the 11th house in retrogression. So things are definitely, your Lagnesh also is going to be actually improving gradually, and you will feel all the strength coming your way. So chant Om Ganganapataye Namo Namaha Om, and definitely very positive. Mercury is conjunct Venus till the 2nd of October, then Venus will be moving ahead and Mercury will be moving backwards only. So Mercury and Venus combination is considered to be very good until unless they are, good in your horoscope as well. You have to check that also. Otherwise, it's a beautiful week. Jupiter, Saturn in the 11th house is good for connecting with the influential people, and chants, of course, you have to do. All right. Only then you will get the kind of results that you are anticipating. Okay. Mars and Mercury combination in your 7th house, you have to be very careful about the arguments that you can get entrapped in, and then they can be very hurting also. So you have to be very careful about those energies. Overall, it's a very good week for Pisces, and I think Mercury's transit in the retrogression in his own zone is going to be definitely a very positive transit, because retrogression is dependent upon the other sign where the planet gets into. So here it's getting into its own zone, so double the impact. So enjoy and have a blessed week ahead. Stay blessed. Om Tat Sat.